Hey everybody, it's Michelle from Florida Keys Birding. We are doing our to be continued from yesterday, from 2021 fall migration, and we're doing October into November. So we'll see if we can finish October today and get into November, and if we can't, then I'll do one more video for November. So, and then we'll go on to something else from there. So this is the recap of the 2021 fall bird migration. All right, so let's get started. So this is an Anhinga. This is a female Anhinga. You can tell by the light color on the head, and the males have the darker and the darker color head and the dark body. Females have the lighter color head and neck, and then the dark body. This is a great white egret. You can tell it's the egret and not the heron because of the color of the legs. The legs are black. If this was a great white heron, the legs would be yellow. Other than that, it's not, it's not really a huge way to ID them and the differences. Sometimes this eye area can be a little bit lighter too, but you can see, kind of that bright green of the egret. This is a pond hawk, apparently. Pond hawk dragonfly. Interesting name. I thought it was really cool because it's bright blue. I thought it was really pretty. And I love how you can see the eyes here. Like, they just look really, really cool. And this is a Scarlet Skimmer. This one was really cool to find. I thought it was really, really awesome. I've never seen a bright red, all red dragonfly before. So this one was really cool. This was at Anhinga Trail in the Everglades, in the homestead entrance of the Everglades. So I saw them in Long Pine Key, and I saw them at Anhinga Trail as well. So there were a few of these. I don't know if it was the time of year. I'm not a huge, I don't know a ton about like dragonflies and stuff like that. Just kind of learning to ID those. So, but yeah, I had never seen these before, and I've been to the Everglades like a million times. I go all the time. So, but this was cool. This was something I'd never seen before. That's the most exciting thing about birding in nature, because sometimes you go to go birding, but you find all kinds of other cool stuff. So I like to find whatever I can find that I've never seen before. It's exciting, and then I go look it up, find out what it is, learn about it. That's what I like to do. This is a tricolored heron. You can see it has 3 colors, hence the name tricolored heron. It's got the white, and it's got the grayish blue, and then it's got almost like a maroon color. So different than the gray heron or the little blue heron, or all of that. It's different. It's about a medium-sized heron. Or the little green heron, much smaller and more like, I say that they look more like stout, I guess. This is a little bit bigger, but not as big as the gray heron or whatever. So yeah, these are this is the tricolored heron. Sorry, I had like a little blank out for a moment. Okay, yep, more of the tricolored heron. You can really see it well, the differences. This is some kind of skink. I don't know, it was like a blue-tailed skink. I don't know what it's called. But this was cool. I never saw this before either. This was a first for me. Or like a rainbow. I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of skink it is, but it was really cool looking. And it ran away from me. It didn't. It was trying to get away because I was trying to take a good picture of it. But so I got away. More of the tricolored heron. This is an alligator. This was like a baby alligator. It was pretty small. This is a Luber Grasshopper. They come in all crazy looking colors. You can see lots of these in the summertime in the Everglades. It's kind of gross because they're all like mating on top of each other. And they're literally everywhere. Like, you can't get away from them. They're like all over the road. They're like all over the sidewalk. They're like all over the walls, just like doing it everywhere. My daughter was like, she was like, why are they here? Why are there so many? Why are they doing this? And they make like these gross sounds when they're doing it, and like this weird thing with their legs. Anyway, yeah, that's the Luber Grasshopper. You have to see it. Go in the summer. You're gonna see it. It's quite ridiculous. Anyway, this is a Merlin, the Merlin falcon. This was cool to see. You don't see Merlins very often, but this was also near the main road, in between the main road and Anhinga Trail. Oh, this was this blooming pink grass. I forget the name of it, but this was so pretty. You would just drive and just all this pink grass waving in the wind. And this was my favorite. Oh my gosh, this is like my favorite photo of all time. A gold fritillary with the pink in the background and then the yellow flowers. I don't know if this is a goldenrod or like some kind of ragweed, I don't know. But oh, it was just so, it was so perfect. Look at that. It was like the perfect, I don't know. I loved it. This is one of my favorites. Okay, this is an eastern phoebe. This is a migratory bird. This is different than the eastern wood pewee. Don't get it twisted. This is a different bird. You can tell this one is more of like a smoke color. It's more darker on the head, and then it's more of like a banana yellow all throughout the body underneath. I have some better pictures of it coming up. This is an American kestrel. He's just, you know, like yelling at someone. They're like, "Arr, arr, arr," like they make this loud sound. Yeah, so he's not happy. He's flying away now. What did that sign say? Oh, discharge of firearms is prohibited. Well, I would hope so. Definitely not. So don't bring your gun to the Everglades. Yes, this is again the eastern phoebe, different than the eastern pewee. Yep, you can see the difference. If you go back to yesterday's video and you see the pewee, it's different. It's more of like a gray with white, maybe a tiny bit of yellow, but not anywhere near this one. This one has more of like the banana yellow and like the more of a smoke colored gray. You can see it. Oh, these were cool. These are blue grosbeaks, and you're wondering why they're not blue. You're like, why are they not blue? They're not in breeding plumage, and the females are brown. So these are either a female and a male not in breeding plumage, or these are two females. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not a biologist, so you know, I just learned by doing. So yeah, this was really cool. I found these in the Southern Glades area before the entrance of the Everglades. I've seen them before, one other time, 2 migrations, fall migrations ago. I believe it was 2019. We had a really good fall migration, and I saw them along with indigo buntings in my neighborhood. It was the same thing. It was on like a barbed wire or like an electric wire. Very cool. Okay, here's a great picture of the phoebe. You can really see the difference in the colors versus the pewee. Yeah, I can really see this bird, and it doesn't have any type of crest whatsoever. The pewee had like this little bit of a crest. The phoebe has no crest. It's just, you can tell by the body shape and all of that, and that more banana yellow type color. And more of the grosbeaks, the phoebe. This is probably the best picture of the blue grosbeak that I got. It has like a little tuft, feather tuft up there. And this is either a juvenile red-shouldered hawk or a broadwing hawk. I'm not sure. I'm really not 100% sure. I saw this and I thought it could go either way. You know, still kind of learning with hawk ID. The juveniles can really look similar to other kinds, so it can be difficult to ID sometimes. I'm not 100% sure about this one. And there he goes. Ooh, and here's a long-tailed skipper that had lost its long tail. But look at those colors. It's like a ombre almost. It's like greens into blues and turquoise. It's so pretty. I love this skipper butterfly. Another sulfur butterfly, I believe that's a cloudless, not 100%. Mangrove Skipper. I like this one with the iridescent. This is not a great picture, it's a little fuzzy, but with this iridescent blue with the black, it's so pretty. They like shine in the sun really nicely. Another sulfur. This is an orange barred sulfur. You can kind of see the orange barring right here. You can see it a little better in some of the other pictures. Yeah, oh, right as they open their wings, you can see the orange barring. It's a little fuzzy, but you can see it down here. Hard to get a picture of them like not moving all the time. Mama monarch laying an egg at a close-up on milkweed, tropical milkweed. This is a baby green iguana in my papaya tree. He probably wanted to eat this fruit, but it wasn't ready yet. Or maybe the flowers. They do like to eat flowers too. They eat lots of greenery and stuff like that. And this is a passion flower. This was my first passion flower that bloomed this year. First one I've ever had to bloom. It was really beautiful. I thought it was so amazing. I can't wait to get more of these, hopefully in the spring and in the summer, now that my vine is getting really, really long and really big. Another mangrove skipper. No. Yeah. This is a mangrove skipper, not a hammock skipper. No, that's right. Mangrove skipper. Long-tailed skipper, where you can actually see the long tail this time. Really, really nice. Oh my gosh, I love the colors. So beautiful. Yep, long-tail skipper. And this is a Julia butterfly. I think this is a female because the males are quite bright, or much brighter, and the females are more drab. Some of them are really, really drab, like brownish orange, but this kind of looks like a female to me. Long-tail skipper. This is a common yellow throat. I couldn't get a good picture of this one it was hiding in the blue porterweed bushes. You can kind of see it here. It's just not, I just couldn't get it without scaring it away. But you can see the yellow throat. This is a female, you can tell, because it doesn't have the black mask of the eye. See, she doesn't have a black mask, and then she's got the yellow throat, and then the more drab brown body. The males look a little different. Gray catbird. These are pretty obvious, you know. They don't really look like any other bird. I always think it's cool they have that red patch under the little rump area. Something you might not have ever noticed. This is a female black-throated blue warbler. Now you're like, she's not black-throated and she's not blue, but this is the female. So the female is not bright, she's more drab. You're gonna see that with birds in general. This one doesn't change the plumage. Some birds do change the plumage in fall to spring. This is how this one always looks. This is the female, and you can kind of identify these females. They have this kind of white eye ring striping, and they have the lighter color on the bottom, and the top is almost like a greenish blue. I don't know. Let me see if I have a better picture. I don't see these very often. Yeah, oh, and then you can see the white wing little spot. That's another thing that helps to ID the black-throated blue female. And here's a male, completely different, black-throated blue warbler, as you can see. See, he's got the black throat, and then he's actually blue. So that's a little, you know, the males. Yeah, you can totally see the difference between the male and the female. They don't look the same at all. Not in any way, except for the markings. You can see that same little white wing patch like the female had. You can see that there. That kind of is a telltale sign for both of them. So different, but a few similarities. And this is a black and white warbler. They have the striping, black and white striping, and their behavior is quite different from other warblers. They act more like a nuthatch as they go up and down trees. Now this was a nice surprise. This is a bay-breasted warbler. I had never seen a bay-breasted warbler. Always wanted to see one until this day. We had a big cold front, and it blew in all kinds of stuff that's not supposed to be here in the fall, or that you don't really see every fall. Every migration I've never seen one, and this year I got to see one. This was towards the end of October, I remember, because I remember we had already passed peak migration, and then suddenly all these birds were showing up that should have already, you know, went along, or that we don't really see. This is a non-breeding plumage Bay-breasted warbler. So in the spring and in the summer they look different, but you can kind of see. Let me get a better shot. I have better shots of this guy. Okay, you can kind of see here. It's almost like a rusty rose color with a little bit of yellow mixed in, and then they have these wing bars, white wing bars. That's a good way to ID them. They look different than other warblers. Yeah, it's always, they usually have like this rust colored patch right here, and you can see non-breeding, they look like this. You can see a little bit of striae right here as well. Yeah, this was really cool. Really exciting find. I was so excited to see this. Oh, look at that. He or she, not sure which one. It has something in its beak, so this was a cool one. It has a little stick or something. Not sure what it was doing with it, but really, really cool. Really cool, not often seen warbler. So exciting. A yellow-throated warbler, again, with the yellow throat and the black and white striping. Pretty straightforward. You don't really confuse this warbler with other warblers. I mean, maybe the black and white warbler, but I mean, you're not really, you know, the black and white warbler doesn't have a big yellow throat. So, yeah, pretty easy to ID. Another bay-breasted warbler. They were all over the trees. I mean, they were everywhere in this Royal Poinciana. They were absolutely all over. Another yellow-throated warbler. See, he was trying to pick bugs out of here. This one, the female and the male, looks the same, and they look the same in the summer as they do as in the winter. They don't change plumage. Same with the northern Perula. This is a northern Perula. The females don't have this little rusty throat thing going on, and in the summer, and in the spring, the northern Perula's this little throat patch. You see, you can barely see it. It gets very like prominent, and you can see it really, really, really bright. Yeah. Let me see if you can see the bicolored bill. Yep, you can see the lighter bill on the bottom and the darker top of the bill. That's a good ID for this bird. That's how I ID'd my first one. I was able to ID it because of the color of the bill. Ooh, that's a good one. You can really see it well. Bay-breasted warbler. Bay-breasted warbler. You can really get a good view of what they look like. These are different ones, and yeah, you can kind of see the light rust color here, and then the yellow head, white wing bars, and the black wing. And we got more monarchs. More monarchs. Oh yeah, I added this picture of this grass. This is the kind of stuff that buntings eat. They eat these little seeds on top of here, so you can tell seedy grass. You can find buntings in these areas. Lots of different warblers like these berries too. I think this is Simpson stopper. I think that's what kind of berry these are. What kind of plant this is. I want to say it is. Unless it's a soapberry. It might be soapberry. I'm not 100% sure. No, it's not soapberry. No, I think this is Simpson stopper. Yeah, black-throated blue warblers like these, and so do Cape May warblers. There's a lot of warblers that will eat fruit, like in the spring and in the winter time, but they're mostly eat bugs. That's their main diet. Here we go. Not a great picture, but this is a common yellow throat male. You can see the black mask. Usually it's much brighter in the spring and in the summer. Almost looks like a little raccoon, or like a little burglar with the black mask here. And you can see the brown body, like beige, buffy colored with the yellow throat. This is the male common yellow throat. Another Buckeye butterfly. I want to say this is a Mangrove Buckeye, or the common Buckeye, not sure. But I see these a lot in October in the road, and apparently they say that they're trying to soak up minerals and stuff like that, because the male will soak up the minerals and give it to the female when he mates with her. So it's kind of weird, but that's what they do. And this is another painted bunting, the green. This is looks like a male Prairie Warbler. The Prairie Warblers, the males are more of like a black and yellow, and the females are more of like a brownish and yellow. So the males are more vibrant. In general, it's like that with birds. Yep, I believe, yep, this looks like a male to me, because the stripes are more black, and then they've got the yellow. And this is a hair streak. Oh no, it's not a hair streak. This is Cassius blue. Those little teensy weensy butterflies. You see them really small. Sulfur butterfly. This is a peregrine falcon, I think. Go back. Or a kestrel. No, I think this is no, that's an American kestrel. Yeah, that's a kestrel for sure. Sometimes it's hard to tell. And another one of the little Cassius blue butterflies. Oh, this is a queen monarch. A little bit different. They have the spots. They have a lot more spots on here than the regular monarch does. You can always kind of tell the difference. Oh, this is a Cuban Nano. These are really cool. This is like a very small one. I have photos, not in this album, but I have photos of the big one. I have them like when they turn really black and dark, and then when they're really bright green. But this was a baby Cuban Nano. A little different. It's not the same as the green Nano. It's not an iguana. It's different. This is a May Warbler. I believe this is a female. Looks like a female to me. Yeah, the females are more drab. The males have, so you can tell, like more of like a gray and yellow with the females. And the males have that bright orange like cheek patch that gets really bright in the springtime. Yeah, this is a female May Warbler. You can tell that striping or striae on the front. That's another good way to identify a Cape May. Sometimes it's hard with the females though. The males are pretty obvious, you can't mistake them, but the females can be mistaken sometimes for even almost like a palm warbler or some other kind of warbler, because they're so drab sometimes. Sometimes they're just gray and light yellow. Another Mangrove Skipper. Oh, I love it. I love their colors. Oh, this was a rare find. Another one that kind of got blown in here. This is not a common flycatcher. I believe this was a lesser flycatcher. I thought it was an Acadian. Am I thinking Acadian? I don't know. These are new to me. So I believe Acadian. I'm also thinking of like ancient Acadian, like archaeological stuff. Yeah, but this is a lesser. I believe I ID'd this is a lesser flycatcher. This was cool. This was a very, very rare find. And it was with palm warblers, and I thought it was a warbler because it was so small. And then I got up close and started taking pictures, and then I went home to ID it, and I was like, oh no, this is a lesser flycatcher. Very cool, exciting find. You see the white eye ring. It was almost like a bluish gray with yellow on the bottom. But it's really hard to tell between the Acadian and this one. Another yellow-throated warbler. a kestrel on top of a Norfolk pine. You see them a lot on these tall pines. Ooh, this is a northern harrier. This one was really pretty. You can see it really, really well. Some of them are very light colored with the black wingtips, and it has a distinct wing shape versus other raptors. You can always tell the difference if you can get close enough just to see the wing shape. That's a good way to ID raptors, is the wing shape as they're soaring. So it looks much different than other raptors. This is the only raptor that I see that has the black wingtips with the all white on the bottom. Yeah, you can really see the wings are they're very like long and slender, and like I said, those wingtips, it's much different than other ones. This is a short-tail juvenile, short-tail hawk, also different than other hawks. You can see the wingspan is much different, and it has that brownish on the bottom. Not easily mistaken. This is a light morph, short-tail hawk. And this is also very different. You see all white on the bottom with the black all the way across the bottom of the wings, and then the black head, and then the white body. I have some better photos of this guy. Alright, this is Kettling Hawks. These are mixed. This is turkey vultures, and then there's the harrier, and then there was like short-tail hawks, all mixed together. This, I believe, was the day of hawks. There were so many. Oh, is that it? Alright, that's it for this one. And we're not going any further. So lots and lots of hawks are going to be in the last video. Coming up, I'll do the next one tomorrow. Yeah, it was like a sudden influx that day in November. It was like early November, and there was tons and tons of migrating hawks just for a few days. I mean, turkey vultures and Swainson hawks and all kinds. It was a lot. There was a lot of different kinds. So I'll talk about that in the next video. Try to post tomorrow to finish up the recap of fall migration. Everybody have a good night, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow if all goes to plan. Thanks. Bye.